You are watching Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And today's conversation is going to be of kind of unusual for a lot of people, but also very real for people who are spiritually open and spiritually, some of them evolved. And if you are in any way pondering in your life, like what are the things that are unseen, or what is it to this life that is something that you cannot see, but it's very real and very present in everyday moment, in every moment of your life. And so today's topic is manifesting made easy, co-creating with the divine. And the guest for the show is the amazing Heidi. And then Heidi, I will let you say your last name.
It's Heidi McElevaine.
McElevaine. I promise I'm gonna pronounce it correctly next time. So Heidi McElevaine. So let me give you a little bit of Heidi's background, a little bit of her official bio. Heidi is an energy healer and spiritual coach. Through Heidi, others have been healed and touched by the angels in very real and profound ways. Heidi has deeply listened to the angels speak to her and has received their loving support through her entire life. In her darkest hours, the angels were steadfast in holding Heidi in the healing lifeline of love. At the age of 9, she was given the gift of writing from the angels as a way to help her express herself and overcome abuse. After a lifetime of engaging with the angels, they have now asked Heidi to be their voice and the messenger so that you too can have a direct and personal experience with the angels and their ever-present loving support. So this is who Heidi is, and if you can see from the screen, and this is my personal flavor to add to this description and the official bio of you. You're just such a light and such a delight to always be in your presence without you even talking. And you probably can see it and can feel it from just looking at her on the screen if you can see us. If you're listening, just tune in to the sound of her voice. So Heidi, thank you so much for being with us on the show.
Thank you for having me, Zhanna.
So yeah, my pleasure. So let's start with the question that I usually bring up first, because the show is called Dream Big, with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refine, and refuel your life. What is your big vision? What is your big dream?
My big dream is just to connect everyone in the world with the angels so that they will know they're not alone, so that they know there's always help to be had, and just so they know that they can feel love and love themselves.
That's a grand vision. That's a grand vision to have. Yeah, and I love that. I love that. So if you not a lot of, I just wanted to say that on this program, at least, I should say not a lot of healers. I did have the healers on the show, kind of in having conversations with them. But it's still unusual. So I thank you for agreeing to be with us today. And the reason I'm saying is that we would love to know what led you to this, because a lot of people, they express the interest to connecting with the divine at some point of their life, but not everybody knows how to do it. And we'll get into the how maybe later if we can. But today, if not today, we will definitely talk about it in our next episodes. But just for right now, has it always been this connection with the angels that you mentioned, specifically the angels? When we put it broader, the divine, for you it's the specific group of or part of the divine, it's your angels. Could you talk to that? What is the story? How did it all start? Were you born with that gift? Did you develop it later?
Well, I believe I was born with it. I believe I was born already connected to them, and they've been beside me my entire life. I didn't know to call them the angels when I was young because I didn't know about angels. I hadn't been taught about it except for Archangel Gabriel at, Christmas time, with the Christmas story. So I wasn't aware that it was the angels that were with me, but I knew something was with me. I knew something was taking care of me and helping me. I grew up in a very, very traumatic um, experience in my childhood in many different ways. And although I had a lot of parts to heal when I grew up, in a lot of ways I remained very whole, that a lot of doctors were actually very surprised about it, how sort of whole I am in my being and able to function in spite of the things that I experienced. And I really believe that it was the angels that were there acting as a buffer for me, and protecting me. And then when I got older, I was in a marriage that was very unhappy. And when I got out of that marriage, I started searching for answers, I felt for pieces of myself. I had felt kind of like I was sort of dying inside, and I just was asking to sort of be reawakened and what was my purpose here. And I got guided to attend certain spiritual type of workshops, where I sort of reopened myself, and then that's when I learned more about the angels from the angels themselves, and realized that that's what I had been connected to, and it sort of woke up my sort of psychic abilities, if you will.
Mm-hmm. How, Heidi? Well, thank you so much. It all sounds very intriguing and very, very interesting. And I'm so glad that they played such a profound role in your life. How do you know, or how did you find out that these are the angels and not maybe like why the name? Did you hear the word? Like, could you throw a little bit of the light on that?
Yeah, so I have worked with these angels for many, many years, and I didn't know what to call them. People just often call them Heidi's angels. um,
Heidi's angels?
yeah. So when I was trying to really define what they were, and I was, asking them, what should I call you? What do I tell you people what we're called? And they just said, we are called the angels. And they said, we are a group, a collective group of beings, of energy. We are not like specific angels with specific names. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
divine, like a high vibration of pure love.
Pure love, yeah. Well, very specific questions. How often do you communicate with them?
Every day and multiple times a day.
And so for people who would love to create, like for people who are open to the idea and understand that there are unseen powers in this life that are present, but you can't really see them because it's beyond our five senses, as is in for the human beings, right? Um, what would you what would be the first sign for them to understand that they are actually in communication with the angels, let's say? What was the defining moment for you personally when you understood, oh, this is what's happening, like these are the angels, and not like, do you remember anything from your past, a specific moment when you realized this is my angels and you got the answers from them right away?
When I was going through a lot of healing and a lot of therapy over the traumas that I'd experienced in my childhood, and I was in a lot of regular therapy, sort of puts you back in that state of trauma again, and I was in this heavy state of trauma and having a really hard time with that. And so the angels came to me and they took me back and showed me the trauma that I had experienced as a child. But instead of just seeing the trauma and feeling the trauma of that, they showed me that actually they were in the room at the same time. And they were just like wall to wall angels. It was just full of angels. And they showed me that I was never alone and I was never experiencing anything on my own, that they were always present and always there, helping me and offering all their love. And it changed me. it really changed how I feel about the trauma I experienced. It changed me, how I feel about myself and how I feel about myself in the world. It was very profound for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that. My next question is, what is the best advice? Like two questions. I love to combine them in twos. The best advice and the worst advice you have ever gotten in your life.
Well, I'll start with the worst because that just popped in my mind. So one of the worst advice I'd ever gotten was as I was going through my stages of healing, because the doctors that I was working with knew what I had been through. They would say to me, well, this is as good as you can expect it to get. This is it. You're not going to get any more healed. And they kind of send me off. And I would just sit with that for a little bit. And then I would go, no, I don't resonate with that. I don't agree with that. I see myself being 100% healed, being 100% light, and I'm not going to stop until I get there. And so I never have stopped. So that was the worst advice. And so the best advice I ever got was to believe in myself and that I already know all the answers. And it came from a time period in my life when I didn't feel I knew any answers and I didn't feel I knew what to do. And somehow a mentor telling me that you know the answers, they're already inside of you. Just sit with them, and they will come to you, was very calming and is really true.
Who is the best teacher? Who do you consider to be your best teacher in life?
On two different levels. The best mentor I ever had was Sonia Choquette. She is a mentor, a spiritual teacher. And she really taught me to believe in myself because she really believed in me at a time when I really needed someone to believe in me. And on another level, my best teacher was my ex-husband, because he didn't believe in me. I had to come to the place where I had to believe in myself or else I wasn't going to exist anymore. So it moved me to another level of self-awareness and of self-empowerment.
So what do you think, what is that power that kept you so whole all that time, so that maybe you can share with us, like through it seems like, right, it seems like you had a very traumatic childhood, and but you mentioned it several times, and yet you ended up being so whole through the process, and then even when the doctors told you there's no more, that's as good as it gets, you still kept going. What is that power? What can you say to others who are probably going through something similar or even worse situations? I don't know. What is it that doesn't break you? You're the whole, right? Nobody could manage to break you as a spirit. What is it?
Because my spirit is so connected. So if your spirit is like, it seems to me like a dowsing rod or something that goes right through my whole being, down into the ground, right up into the divinity. And because I'm so strongly connected, that people can hurt you, they can hurt you, they can cut you, they can make you bleed and make you cry and do all horrible things to you on the physical level. But if your spirit is so connected, they cannot ultimately touch your spirit, and all power and empowerment comes from spirit. So they could not get to that place with me, and I just stayed, and the angels always covered me in a bubble of their love and protection. And yes, I felt physical pain, I felt physical hurt, I felt emotionally hurt. I'm a very emotional person. I went through a lot of emotional trauma, really feeling it, but at the same time knowing that I was okay. So I kind of lived in two levels. One level where I was really hurt and upset, and on the other level knowing that ultimately I really am okay and everything is going to be okay.
Do you believe that regardless of whatever area of people's lives something is happening, because something is happening all the time, right? Whether that's the finances, whether that's the relationships, whether that's the health, do you believe that your angels, Heidi's angels, can actually heal people completely to the point of being whole?
Absolutely. I believe that completely.
And so, do you also believe that no matter how hard the hardship, no matter how bad or, well, in our human perception, bad, no matter whatever happened in the past, the person, if he is or he or she is connected to their, I don't know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even know how to form the question, but if they're connected to their own angels, or you sometimes call them the angels of the 12th dimension, is it correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So,
but I would also say if they're connected to their higher self, you could even say to their higher self, to their spirit,
they
to
can
their
also,
divine knowing.
so they can heal themselves too, completely?
They could be, if they were willing to give up their physical perceptions of things. Yes.
hmm So in your own experience, like in your own experience,
Mhm.
who became, looking back, who do you consider the best healer and the best doctor in the human sense of what we call the doctor? Is it somebody outside of you, or is it still you? You would say, I healed myself with the help of other people, but so who played the immense, like, huge role? You named this one person. I don't know her, so it's Sonia
Sonia Choquette.
Choquette. How do you spell Choquette?
Choquette.
Quett. Okay, well, we'll look her up. Thank you so much. Yeah, but
Another doctor that I worked with who is brilliant is named Dr. Allison Miller.
Alison Miller.
And she's one of a handful of doctors that help people to recover from cult abuse. And she actually goes around and teaches other doctors how to help people from this. And she was really brilliant and really, really pivotal for me in my healing. But at the same time, my healing, because I have the angels working at the same time helping me to heal, that my healing was so faster and so much more than she ever anticipated, that I came to a place where, okay, like, I'm done, I don't need any more help. But in her mind and the physical model of what it looked like, I still should have needed help. So, it became sort of where she wasn't ready to let me go, but I was like ready to go, because I'm like, I'm good now. So it's kind of funny. So yes, I still believe in using physical doctors, medicine, whatever, showing up to help you, but the angels can help you move through things so much faster.
And that was my question. So you saying that yes, it's possible to heal by yourself, and yes, it's possible if you are in communication, in your case, in communication with the angels. Can you ask them questions, like any question, and get the answers?
If they want to give me the answers, I can always ask them questions. Yes.
Oh, so you're saying there are moments when they're not going to give you the answer?
Yes, if I'm trying to ask something too far in the future, because they always want to keep us in the present and in the now. So they might give me my next step answer. If I'm trying to ask something, they'll tell me what the next step is to do, but they won't necessarily tell me ultimately what's going to happen.
So in when you say the answer, when you get the answer from them, is it in a complete sentence? Is it a feeling? How does that happen for you? Because I know, it could be shaped in a number of different forms. I haven't experienced it yet. I know I'm very connected, but I'm really so like a little child. I really, really want it to happen to me. So what's the means of communication? How do you translate that?
Often to me, it comes in thoughts. Sometimes I hear actual words, and sometimes I hear it outside of me. That's not very common. That's usually if there's some reason for them to like stop doing something right now that's, going to cause harm or something, then that may come outside. Usually it's just a thought in my mind, and sometimes it's just a knowing. So you're probably more connected and getting more answers than you know, and you often probably just have a knowing about something. I just know this, and we call it like women's intuition, but that's really your connection to spirit, and that's really your knowing is really your spiritual connection.
Oh, thank you for saying that. But when you said the word knowing, I know that sometimes I can't explain that, but I know this is what's going to happen, or I know this is the right thing to do, and I don't know why I know and how I know. So my favorite, how would you define intuition, Heidi? What would you say? Like, what is intuition? I think you said
Your intuition is your connection to spirit.
to spirit. It's my favorite definition of intuition. I don't even remember who passed it on to me. Um, Prayer is our communication to the divine, to God, to source, however people call it. And intuition is his, or their communication with us. So
That's true.
in your case, it's your angels.
Yes.
So when you work with people, you basically heal, you listen to the answers in the thought form, or however they come to you, and you basically do the clearing, or the energetic clearing for them. After that, like, what kind of people find you, meaning like what kind of issues they come to you with?
Well, they come with any issues at all. It can be physical, it could be about money, it could be about jobs, relationships, where they live. And I just wanted to clarify that I don't do the healings and the clearings. I am a certified healer of many modalities, but when I work with the angels of the 12th dimension, it's they that come and do the healings and the clearings. They are so much more powerful, and they are just like laser focused, and they go exactly to the root of where the problem began, whether it's in this life or another life, and they clear it from there, which creates the clearing and the opening in the present.
This is amazing. Can you, do you have anything that you can maybe do, just something quick for everybody who is watching and listening? Maybe a clearing, maybe, I don't know how you work with them, but something to give us the taste of what it feels like. Is there anything that you can?
Yeah, sure. Let me just communicate with the angels for a minute and see what they'd like to provide, like to offer. They'd first of all like to tell everyone that they are so loved, and the greatest gift you can ever offer to the angels or your spirit is to love yourself. That if everyone loved themselves and respected themselves and honored themselves, then they in turn would be loving and respecting and honoring the person next to them. And then we would be living in a world of peace and harmony. And that's really where it starts, is inside yourself. And it's not so much love your neighbor as you would love yourself, as we've been taught. It's really love yourself and then love your neighbor. It starts with yourself. And it doesn't mean being selfish, because I know a lot of people, alarms will go off. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean being selfish. It means taking care of your needs. And especially for women, I mean, taking care of your needs and nurturing yourself and valuing yourself and honoring yourself in each little moment, not just like at the end of the day for 10 minutes after the kids are in bed, or, you've cleaned up from dinner and things, really honoring, who you are and where you are, and really coming to the world in a very authentic way.
So you mean, like, could you be a little bit of more specific, like especially for women, because a lot of women are watching us right now and will be watching later. What specific things during the day can they do to honor themselves?
Well, one really important thing is to not let anyone go over your boundaries. So first you have to set those boundaries for yourself. So let's say someone asks you to do something and you're already doing so many things and already feeling pulled in so many directions, and yet you want to help them, you want to be a good person, so you say yes and you add another thing in there. So the angels would say, really honor yourself and honor the fact that you really inside wished that you could have said no. And so instead to say to this person, I'm sorry, I just can't help you right now. And that's all you ever need to say is, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. You don't have to give explanations. You don't have to give a backstory. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to, we think that we need to show people like an essay of the reasons why we can't help them when we feel like we can't. And the angels also say there are like 7 billion plus people in the world. So if you can't help them, it's guaranteed someone else will. So it's really important. And the angels are there too, and they will, try to help them. So it's really important for you to honor yourself. And even with your kids, they say, mommy, I need this right now. If it's life-threatening, of course, put their needs first. But if it's not, and you're just feeling like you're in the middle of something, or you just want to get, this finished, the email finished, or, doing something on your own, you could just say, honey, I'll come and help you in a couple minutes. You could help yourself right now, or you could just wait in a couple minutes and then, mommy will come. And just get in the habit of setting little boundaries. They can just start off with very little boundaries if it feels challenging to have really big boundaries, but just start to put up little boundaries as you go through your day. And even with yourself, you can even monitor yourself, because you might be like, oh, I'm so hungry, or I need to go to the bathroom, yet we're just determined we're going to finish whatever task we're at. And so, I just laugh, because it's really, the angels have such a wonderful sense of humor, and they're just like, really just laugh at yourself and just say, oh, look what I'm doing in the moment, and catch yourselves in those moments and say, you know what, this can wait. The emails can wait. The Facebook can wait, right? The dishes can wait. I'm going to sit down, have a cup of tea, have something nourishing to eat, and then I will go and finish, the task. And if it doesn't get done, if it's not life-threatening, it can be there tomorrow. So the angels are just like, really lighten up on yourselves, take it more easy, more gentle, and just try to take care of yourself as if you were outside of yourself, and treat yourself how you treat other people. A lot of women are so nurturing and caring of everyone else, and yet on themselves, they're hard, they're judgmental, they're critical. Yes. And that is
anybody really relate?
Yeah. We all do that. So the angels are just like, really try to treat yourself like as if you're helping someone else. And you say, oh, honey, look, you're so tired. You're so hungry. Why don't you go sit down, and you can do that later. Go and sit down now and eat something, and just be really, you can even talk to yourself in the third person is fine. You might feel crazy, but it's really helpful. I do it all the time. So
yes. It seems like, what I love about our conversation today is that I said my guest is Heidi, but really I can see how connected you are with your angels, and it's Heidi and the angels. It's Heidi and the angels. So since it's Heidi and the angels, and we're getting so much advice, and I hope it's valuable for you guys, before we wrap up, I want to ask you a few things. Number one, what is the way to connect with you? If people have questions, if people have comments, guys, please comment, please share this video if you find it valuable. You can also go to YouTube under my name, Zhanna Shpits. It's going to be uploaded there tonight or just within days, literally. And any other ways to connect with Heidi if you have questions for her. So what's the best way to reach out to you, Heidi?
So you can just comment below if you're on the Facebook page, and I'll see that, and I can, comment you back. You can find me on Instant Messenger too, or you can go to my website. And I don't know if you've put that up there, but it's www.ascendingheights.com.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe. If can I tell this now?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. If you subscribe on my website page or contact me in some way, I will send to you a free video, a bonus video of angels clearing energy. It's about 7 minutes, and I can send you the link of it. And it's really, I play it in the background all the time. I don't like to look at myself or hear myself, so I just turn down the volume and put my phone over there kind of thing, and I let the energy clear me. It really helps with anxiety. It helps me sleep. It helps with there's a lot of issues going on the planet right now. There's a lot of energies happening, and it really helps to just calm everything down. So I offer that to anybody that would like to use it. The angels just want to be here for everyone. They just want to help everyone. That's their joy.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. So it's again Heidi's website. It's in the description on the Facebook page Hummingbird Academy today, from where we are streaming. But just in case, if you are not finding it, it's ascendingheights.com, and through the website you can just leave your email, and Heidi is going to send you her gift, which is a 7-minute angel clearing video. I personally watched it, and it's amazing. It calms you down, and just listening to her voice, I mean, it really, really does the amazing work, the inner work, and everything is energy, so you clear all the dust that sticks to you. So really, really cool. Now, Heidi, the question that I am asking all participants on the show: what is this one gem? You've given so much today. You guys already know the good news is from Heidi and her angels is that you can heal yourself. Heidi is here to help you. Like, she knows, and her angels can do the clearing for you. So that is available. It's good news. How, no matter how heavy the stuff in life is happening or was happening to you or somebody else you loved, it's all possible to shift it around, right? So not so much the facts, probably the fact will be the fact, but it's the energy around it, and the charge around it will be completely gone, and you can still be the whole person. And Heidi is the living miracle. So with that said, what is this one gem, another gem, maybe from you or from the angels, or maybe you and the angels as the teamwork, to the humanity, really, to everybody who is listening and watching?
Well, the angels just would like everyone to know that they honor everyone for being here on the planet. They know that this life is not easy. They know it is really hard to come down uh, to this planet and to feel being in a physical body. We feel dense and compressed, and we're used to feeling light. And they really recognize that it is very, very challenging. That a lot of us have challenging lives that we've set up for ourselves from spirit to grow our soul. And the angels just want you to know that they are here for you, and you don't have to go through me. You're welcome to come to me, and I'd love to give you an angel session, but you don't have to. And you can just call on them, and you can just say, angels, come and help me in my life. Show me that you're here with me. If you want, a demonstration from them, ask them for one. Say, show me that you're here. Let me feel the love. They just are pure love. When they're around you, you'll feel like sacred space. It's just like this beautiful sacred space.
Yeah. Heidi, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I want to give the heads up to everybody. If you guys have specific questions to Heidi and her angels, can you please put them in the comments? Because we're gonna do another episode with Heidi where we want you to experience Heidi's work and how she actually communicates with her angel, and to see the transformation in the person's energy immediately. So if you have some specific questions, please PM, maybe private message Heidi, if you or me, or just comment below the video here on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook or YouTube, doesn't matter. And Heidi, would it be okay? Like, would you be able to consult with the angels and give these people the answer to that, and tap into?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I'd be very happy to do that.
Yeah, yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. So you guys are watching Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refine, and refuel your life. Today, we had the pleasure to see Heidi and the angels on the show. I mean, to see Heidi and hear from the angels, from Heidi's angels on the show. And I can't wait to see you on another episode of this program. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heidi. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very
Bye,
honored.
guys. Bye.